We'll run a trailer for tomorrow night, but we won't talk about tomorrow night.
Yep, right, we are live. Let's just let the viewers build up for a sec. Here we go, here we go. It's building up.
Isn't it Saturday night? We makes a change, isn't it? Saturday night.
Yeah, it feels a bit weird. I mean, it was a little weird.
Well, I know because you've cancelled your ballet class, haven't you, in order to come and do this?
Well, listen, this is priority. This is it. We're locked in now. With the messages I'm getting, with the messages that I'm getting weekly and daily, we're locked in. I mean, I think we underestimate the reach and the help that these streams provide. I genuinely believe now we underestimate what we're doing, because I've had messages on Instagram this week from multiple different people saying, thank you for your streams. I've learned a lot and they've helped me get through the system. I've had people sending me WhatsApp messages. I mean, like people are DMing me, like cold DM. I don't know these people. So a lot of people are reaching out, and some people have gone further, got my email off the channel, and they've emailed me praising us, praising what we do. And some of the praises I'm getting go all the way up to the Middle East, people from the Middle East, people from here, people from all over the place. So we underestimate what we do. Right, guys, if you're just tuning in, it is Saturday night and it's 8:41. The reason we are doing this live stream tonight is to compensate for the fact that we will not be live tomorrow, but we will be uploading a video and putting some information out there regarding domestic abuse protection orders, but that's for tomorrow night. But just to cover the Q&A element and to provide the weekly support, we are still here today to try and sort of bridge the gap. So you don't go without the support that you need. So apologies for the inconvenience potentially, but yes, bring your questions as usual and we will attempt to answer them and support you. So technically this is episode, well, it's not technically, this is episode 64.
64.
Dads. And with that, family law guy, the legend, the one and only Mr. Ryan. Right, Mr. Ryan, as I started off at the stream saying, there's a lot of people reaching out. There's a lot of people emailing me. I'm getting people daily that want to come on board. And obviously we are inundated. So guys, for all of those people that have said I'll call you back and haven't got around to it, I'm going to dedicate a specific slot every week where I'll be calling people back, just talk to people, finding out what the situation is and provide help where I can. I used to do a lot more of it, but amongst all the chaos, I've slightly slipped. So if I've said to you, I'll call you and I haven't called you this week, I apologize. I'm going to try and get to you. Just keep badgering me, emailing me and WhatsApping me or DMing me on Instagram, and I will get back to you because I'm now really focusing in on that. So that's that. Mr. Ryan, how has your week been? What's going on?
It's as I say, it's Saturday night, isn't it? I mean, it's Saturday Night Live. This is a bit of a novelty for us. But you know, ordinarily, I'll say you're at ballet class on a Saturday night, you know, and I'm in the local casino. So yeah, it's a surprise for us. But yes, as I say, we've had to make a little change this week, just as a one-off, because we're going to do a pre-record for tomorrow night, which has got some really very interesting information on it, folks. So do tune in at the normal time and have a listen. So, because I say it's an interesting topic that we're talking about, and we're doing that just one for two reasons really. We're doing it for two reasons. One, because I'm not available tomorrow night because unfortunately I've got something else that I need to attend to, which I can't get out of, which is rare, but it happens. And secondly, because we thought, well, we'll do a pre-record and see what happens. So it's Saturday night, and my week has been chaotic actually this week, very chaotic. My obviously I spend the bulk of my week working on caseload, and that's either in the court, actually with clients in court and with my team. So I might have a solicitor with me or a barrister with me, or just there on my own. But then if I'm not in court, obviously I'm in my office working on casework. This week, for whatever reason, and it was commented on by my assistant, my right hand, Claire, is that the phone just hasn't stopped all week this week. The phone has been mental this week. And so, that's compromised the casework, because you're trying to, you can't do both. You can't be talking to somebody and giving your attention to whoever's on the end of the phone who needs to talk to you, and at the same time be trying to write a statement or respond to something on behalf of somebody else. So it's been an interesting week in that the phone has been red hot this week. We've had a lot of conversation this week. So anybody who I've spoken to this week, which is an awful lot of people, then thanks for dialing into us. We will assist wherever we can. We are going through something of an upsurge at the moment in terms of the contact that we are getting, and that's as a result of obviously what myself and Farrukh do on here, and the conversations that we have on here, and obviously what we do on what Farrukh does on his social media and what we do on ours. And it is prompting people to want to reach us and rattle the door. So it's been a busy week. And the week ahead is in no way any different.
Yeah, no, I can corroborate what you're saying. It is busy. There is a lot of people reaching out. I am now bumping into people literally, and they're asking me to take their case on ultimately. So look, I think as this surge spikes, until we get to a point where this settles, along with all the other work behind the scenes, when that takes off, which is going to be between now and December, I think I just think it's inevitable that there is going to be chaos. So if we don't get around to speaking to you, or supporting you in the way you need the support, I want to apologize in advance, because I can foresee the chaos coming. And the way things are, I might have to come down to your office 2-3 days a week and stay over, I think, weeks at a time, just to maybe tackle some of this at some point. I can't see any other way out of this now going forward. I think it's going to get to the point where we're going to hit that impact, because we've put in so much work. It's now already, the momentum's building. It's suddenly the needle is suddenly going to go boom. It's going to happen, right? So we'll apologize in advance. And on that note, I just want to say, like, subscribe, follow, and share. As predicted, I am near enough. I've crossed 3,420 subscribers. I'm there. So my prediction for 5,000 by the end of December is still optimistic, but it is possible. Also, I've been on a podcast recently. It's doing really well. AAA Talks on YouTube. They're on Instagram also, but obviously the podcast is uploaded on YouTube. AAA Talks. Check it out. I go into detail about the day-to-day behaviors that one endures when you're with someone, when you're living with someone who has, or you're in a relationship with someone who has some form of personality disorder. People don't understand the mental toll that it takes on the individual who is subjected to someone like that. It's very hard to describe and explain. It has taken me ultimately a decade just to give me the ability to articulate what the problem is, what is classed as, what happens, what emotional and mental stages you go through. And going through my own journey with all of this, I've met people now that tell me, I've been in a relationship like this is what's happened. I'm glad someone understands. The amount of people that reach out to me, especially since that podcast, and said the fact that someone can articulate this and understand this is a relief. And what I also find is people that are in these relationships, they last 6 months, year, 2 years, 3 years. So then I look back, the fact that how did I survive a decade? I do not know. Maybe I was made for this. Maybe I was born to do this. Maybe I'm here to deliver a message ultimately. So guys, check out that podcast, AAA Talks. In the meantime, while we are plugging in different platforms of podcasts, let me just highlight this. Follow Mr. Ryan on That Family Law Guy. He's on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. He's putting out content daily. Check it out and spread it and send it out to those who may need it. Right, shall we answer?
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will. It's very good, Job. I listened to the AAA and it was very good. Yeah, yes, it was a good listen. It was a good listen. And I think the problem we have with podcasts is obviously they are, I almost said they're like dog shit there, but I won't. but they are like dog shit because they're everywhere. Yeah, so there are zillions of them. Everybody who is anybody appears to want to podcast, and so there is an absolute jungle of rubbish. And so very occasionally it's quite refreshing to come across a decent one. And obviously you sent me the link, and that's always useful. But I sat and I listened, and it was very good. It was very good. It was a very insightful, honest journey into that particular world, into your particular world, and and I admire you for having done it. And it was an interesting listen. It's an interesting listen.
Oh, it's good. I've had good feedback on it, and I've had a lot of people reach out since. So I must say, it must have hit home because, you always fingers when you're on a podcast and when you talk. Like I said, this is a subject that is so hard to articulate, let alone from your own personal experience, and to convey to someone who's not experienced this. It's very difficult to bridge that gap, and you never really know if you've done it. Do you know what I mean? You never truly know if it's hit home or if you've done it justice. So yeah, I'm getting good feedback, and it's good to know. So yeah, and long may it continue, and we will continue to go down this path and expose all of these things. And let's clarify the purpose of all of this is to empower others to not suffer in silence, to empower men who suffer in silence, who are ashamed to talk about these things, who feel humiliated and demasculated, to empower, let's say, women who are potentially going through something like that as well. So it's to empower and educate it. The purpose is not to just sling mud for the sake of it. I don't get any personal benefit or value from it, but ultimately never lose focus, eyes on the prize, to create exposure, help and support and empower. Straight.
Indeed. Yes, that's true. I was saying, obviously, it's interesting because obviously we both do podcasts independently. Obviously, you're doing them, and you're coming from essentially from your personal perspective, and I like that. I like the honesty of that. The podcast that I'm doing, I'm coming either from a very family law perspective. This is how family law is exercised in this great land of ours, and this is why I think it's dreadful. So I'm either coming from that perspective, or I do spend a lot of time recently on parenting podcasts, and really giving advice on how co-parenting should happen, and how relationships should split up without children being damaged. And so I do spend a lot of time doing that. So so as I say, we are coming at it from sort of different ends of the spectrum, because yours is incredibly personal, and I like that. And as I say, mine is industry driven, really, for want of a better phrase. So yeah, it's interesting. It gives different perspectives, and that's important.
Absolutely, guys. Yes. So yeah, listen, when you come on these podcasts, let me know. I'll check them out. Good to see you in action in some of these parenting podcasts.
It's beautiful work. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. It's beautiful work. I did one recently. I will tell you this because it was quite funny. I went on to a podcast from a couple who it's a parenting podcast, and they're in North Carolina in the US. So they've got this wonderful, very strong mid-US accent, a real drawl to it, and that amused me a little. And they found my accent, hysterical. But we recorded for an hour and a half, two episodes of their podcast. One, I was talking about parental alienation, because we have a different perspective here than in the US about it. And then secondly, I was talking about co-parenting, and specifically blended families. So one parent and another parent come together in a new relationship, and they bring children with them, and how do those children relate to each other as stepkids, and blah, 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 blah. So talking about that, we'd done an hour and a half of recording. It had gone really well. It was very light-hearted. There was a few laughs in it. It was all good stuff. We thought we'd recorded something wonderful. And then we finished, and then I'm just making small talk with the lady who hosted it. And I won't say the name of the podcast, but making small talk with the lady who hosted it, and then and we're on Zoom like this, so I can see her, she can see me. Then suddenly all the colour drained from her face, and I thought, oh my word. And I said, are you okay? She said, I've just realised I didn't hit the record button.
Oh my days.
So we've been chatting for nearly 2 hours.
My God.
And she hadn't recorded a word. So
Poor lady.
I'm going back. I'm joining her again in about 10 days' time, I think it is, to try again. But yeah, they're just like 2 hours of us talking.
Hey,
and bearing in mind, because of the time difference, it was 11 o'clock at night here when I'm recording, talking to her. And she'd forgotten to hit the record button. So yeah, there you go. Podcast.
Your eyes must have been going. You must have been like, were you like feeling it?
Well, it wasn't. I wasn't. You know, as I endeavoured to be gracious. I said, "Oh, silly you."
You must have thought like, "Oh."
Wasn't quite what I wanted to think, but it's like, "Oh, you silly Billy." Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, bless her heart. But anyway, on we go.
Right, Mr. H is dialed off, but he had to go in. But let's he's put a couple of questions, so let's try and cover them. Just found out I'm still going to be in court after Section 7 for a final hearing, and will need to reapply for funding for the final hearing, etc. So pretty much confused why more funding is needed. If I already have legal aid and granted, can you shed some light, please?
Yes, I can shed some light. There are 2 reasons why you might need to reapply for legal aid. One is the size of your initial purse. The second one is the platform. So let me explain that. When you get legal aid, it comes, they don't just hand you a golden ticket and say, off you go, spend as much money as you like and let us know when you've finished spending it. They give you a budget, essentially. So legal aid will say, okay, this is a £10,000 purse. This is a £20,000 purse. This is a £25,000 purse, whatever it might be. And so when your solicitor obviously reaches the end of that purse, because legal aid have decided that is all you need, they've then got to reapply. So that's problem number one, or possibility number one in H's situation as to why he's got to reapply. The second one is what we call the platform. So the other thing that the legal aid will do is they will look at your case, your application when you make it, and they will say, well, look, we will fund you up until and including the fact find, for argument's sake. But after that, you're on your own. Or you've got to reapply and come back to us and justify why it is that we are going to fund you further. And I'll tell you why they do that. And they tend to use the fact find as a bit of a platform. Is you've applied for legal aid, they tell you, well, okay, we'll fund you up to and including the fact find. At the fact find, you get findings against you. So you are now the perpetrator. The legal aid system will not fund perpetrators. So guess what? Your legal aid's gone. You're not going to get a reapplication. Or the other side of that particular coin is there are no findings at all. And you're the suspected victim. But there are no findings made against the person that you've accused because the court has decided that it's all not true. It's all lies. So you now go back to legal aid and say, I came to you because I was accusing the other side of domestic abuse. The court has now decided there is no domestic abuse, which means I'm no longer entitled to legal aid because the only grounds on which you can get legal aid is domestic abuse.
I see.
So that's why they tend to either operate on, as I say, on a limited purse basis, so i.e. you've got this much money to spend and then you've got to come back and ask for some more, or on the platform. So they'll put a stage in the middle of proceedings and say, talk to us again after the fact find, talk to us again after the Section 7, talk to us again before the final hearing or whatever it might be. So it's one of those two, or even a combination of them both, as to why H finds himself in this predicament.
Right, Mr. H, I hope that answers the question. If you need any more info, obviously drop me a WhatsApp or email Mr. Ryan. And yeah, we'll be back next Sunday, 8:30. Join us then. But I hope this answers your question and gives you the support you need. Right, we have a question from, I'll just say Mr. N. Sounds like looks like a name I don't recognize. So welcome to the channel. Just to let you know, we are normally live every Sunday, 8:30. We're just doing it today because Mr. Ryan is not available tomorrow evening. So just to make sure we still provide support, and we're here, we're doing it today. So tune in every Sunday, 8:30. Also, there's plenty of videos and plenty of content on the channel all around the family court system. Check them out. And there's also stuff around mindset and positivity and how to elevate yourself ultimately and grow as a person. Check them out as well. Now, the question is, statement and Scott schedule sent. His response deadline passed by email PTR December. Fact finding January. What happens now? I filed late waiting for legal aid. He is not represented. It's for a non-mole. So this is a lady who is basically going against her partner, who's potentially, obviously, the father or the man, whatever. Right.
Okay, so we have. So let's just break this down then. So this party is in contested proceedings. They're heading towards a fact find, which is going to take place in January. And there's a PTR, pre-trial review, in December. That's the little short hearing that takes place before a fact find, so that a judge can establish that they've got everything in place for the fact find to be effective. They get everything by way of evidence. They know who the witnesses are, etc., etc. So the statement supporting the allegations and the Scott schedule, which is essentially a table that provides the allegations, they have been provided by this party that we're talking to now, by N. So she, and well, I'm assuming it's a she has submitted these into court. The other side, the he in this matter, he is required to respond to that Scott schedule. His deadline for responding has passed. So he hasn't done as yet. So he's late in making his submission. That's not the end of the world. The court is fairly giving, and so if he responds late, it's not a huge issue. What happens now? Well, now we wait, to be perfectly honest. We wait until the PTR. You said you've applied late and you're waiting for legal aid. That's fine. Legal aid processes in 14 to 21 days. So you should have plenty of time to get yourself positioned before the PTR in December and get yourself represented. I surmise, obviously, it's a solicitor who's done the application for you. So father in this instance, and I'm assuming he's a father or a husband or both, he's not represented, and it's for a non-mole. So what the argument says is what's for a non-mole. But anyway, there's a non-mole involved as well. So essentially, you're now playing the waiting game. You've got to wait for your legal aid to come through. You've got to wait for him to respond to your statement and your Scott schedule as to how he is going to respond to the allegations that presumably you are making against him. And then all of that will be considered at the PTR. The judge will not consider as in make a decision. The judge just wants to know, I've got the schedule. I know what's being alleged. I've got a response. I know what the other party is saying about it. I can see who's in the room. I can see who's being represented and who they're being represented by, be it counsel or solicitor, or indeed self-representing. I've now got what I need in order to move forward into a fact find. Now, if he stays not represented or self-representing as a litigant in person, the next issue the judge will have at the PTR is, how are you, as a non-represented litigant in person, how are you going to offer cross-examination? How are you going to ask questions of the other side? Because you cannot ask them directly. There is a rule in court that we refer to as Practice Direction 12J that says that you cannot, if there is domestic abuse in the room, themed in the matter, one party cannot ask the other party directly questions. So the judge is going to have himself something of a quandary if the father or the husband in this matter continues to be unrepresented. The judge could only offer then two options. Option number one is the judge says to the father, husband, write your questions down and give them to me and I will ask them on your behalf. Option two, the judge will say that we need to appoint you, because you're unrepresented, with a QLR. QLR standing for Qualified Legal Representative. A QLR essentially then is able to ask the questions on behalf of the person who is unrepresented. But here's your problem. Your PTR is in December, your fact find is in January. There is no way on God's earth or anybody else's earth that the court is going to find a QLR and appoint one in the space of what I assume is 2, 3 or 4 weeks. It's just not going to happen. So that's going to present the judge with something of an issue. where potentially he's going to have no choice if he remains unrepresented than to say, you need to prepare your questions and you need to send them to me, and I as a judge will ask them on your behalf. Arguably the most ineffective cross-examination mechanism available, because you lose control of the cross-examination. But that's not your problem, that's his problem. That's where you are.
Right, Miss, and I hope that answers the question. Right, here we go. We've got a name that we know.
We do.
Bo the Hopper. My ex has now got legal aid. What are the advantages and disadvantages of me being a litigant in person versus her with legal aid? We're moving forward towards a fact find with accusations both sides. Well, first thing is ultimately she's got some heavy firepower with her, paid. So they can do a lot of heavy lifting for her without any financial burden. So they have heavy firepower available at their disposal. That's the first advantage that I can think of off the bat.
Legal aid is useful because it means you can fund some pretty big guns with legal aid. The advantage of being a litigant in person, if you are a litigant in person totally, i.e., it's just you've got no support or help whatsoever, and I'm aware of the mechanism and the situation of Bo the Hopper, but I won't comment on it directly. But if you're a litigant in person where you've got nothing, it's just you, I will be honest, you are going to struggle. You are going to be pushing water uphill because you don't know the system well enough to be able to use it. You don't know the procedures and the processes well enough to be able to use it. The advantage of being a litigant in person where you are supported, be that by a Mackenzie Friend or be that by Mackenzie Friend Plus, the premium version of Mackenzie Friend, is you are quicker, you are speedier. The other party with a legal aid and with a solicitor, they are a super tanker. It takes them ages to turn around and change direction. You as a litigant in person can change direction like that. That is the advantage. The advantage that I often use in family court, because obviously everybody who works, all of my clients are litigants in person in the purest form, and they're supported by me and my team. What we have that the other party with legal aid and solicitors and barristers, blah, 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 do not have is we have pace and we have speed and we have the ability to adapt quicker. That is the advantage that you have. That is the advantage that you have to use.
Yeah, I would say, Mr. Bo the Hopper, obviously you're fighting the machine. This is where, as I describe it, you are now up against the family court machine, the whole system, from the allegations to the securing the legal aid to now the fact find and everything in between. You are effectively the little man fighting the machine, fighting the system, fighting Uncle Sam, so to speak. Now, the best thing you can do is arm yourself with as much knowledge as possible. You need to watch our videos on why are fact finds dangerous for fathers. Go down the streams, watch every video on fact finds. And your second, depending on your budget, I would say your best option is to take a Mackenzie in. You need to find a good vetted Mackenzie Plus, as Mr. Ryan stated. Get him on board, because you still have to deliver the information yourself, but at least he's giving you the software. He's in your ear. He's telling you what to say, what to challenge, what not to challenge, how to defend. Obviously, you can't ask questions, but he can prepare the questions for you, which can be handed to the judge. But you need some support, I believe. You'll need some support, because the outcome of the fact find will determine your relationship with your children throughout their childhood. That's the reality, which will then determine your relationship with your children throughout your life and their relationship with you. So I don't know your financial situation. I would say at this stage, This is what you need to do at this stage. Whatever your situation is, let's say you're hard up on money, you need to go out and do whatever you need to. Now, what do I mean when I say that? When people say, what does that even mean? Go out and hustle, stand on a market stall. If you're capable physically, go and stand outside Wicks and put your thumbs up to a builder and go get some cash in hand. Go dig a trench, mix some cement, go do some Ubering. I don't know how that works these days. Go do some old school cabbing. And this is what I'm talking about. You're going to have to do whatever you need to do. Scrape a few £100 together to get someone beside you. This is where you got to dig deep, go into the trenches, yeah? You're going to battle and you're fighting the machine. You're going to have to dig deep and believe that you can do this and become whatever you need to be to deliver what you need to deliver for your kids now. That's my advice to you at this stage. I hope it helps. Right, Mr. Essay. I don't know if it's this guy's who I think it is. Right, Mr. Essay, if you're the guy that WhatsApped me and told me that Mr. Ryan's doing yours in November, he's representing your fact find in November, please confirm in the next comment while we answer this if you're the same guy. Yeah. The brother, if you're the brother that I bumped into in that Lebanese takeaway, if that's USA, just please confirm. Right. Big shout out to the service you gentlemen provide. Okay, he's confirmed that's him. All right, we'll get onto that in a minute. Big shout out to the service you gentlemen provide. Much respect to your graft, and I hope I can get a positive outcome with my proceedings with the direct help of Mr. Ryan. Make sure to like and subscribe, sub. Mr. Ryan, I tell you what, brother, I said to you I will ask. So I am going to ask Mr. Ryan, I'm going to say this as I'm a man of my word on air. Mr. Ryan, because this man has been supporting us and he's been following us from day dot, he has pushed our channel out, he has really backed what we do. Whatever we can do for him, he's hard up. Do what you can, on his final bill. Do what we can for him. We'll try and shave off and give you a discount where we can, where possible. Yeah, it's already cheap. It's already a fraction, but I know your personal circumstances. I know you're not in a good place financially due to multiple issues, physical issues and all sorts of whatnot. But look, I've asked, Mr. Reinhardt has already applied it, but he will still consider and do what he can, yeah? Now, let's answer the question. There is no question. It was just a comment. There is no question. Sorry, my bad.
Yes, it's just a chat. But yes, I will confirm that, I am in conversation with this gentleman, and we are looking after him, and we are going to look after him at his next hearing, which is, in November. And we will do everything in our power in order for his outcome to be a positive one. And we have struck our commercial relationship. Thank you.
Yes, perfect. There you go. Look, there you go. He's a good brother. He's a good brother. This brother reached out to me, connected with me ages ago. I mean, when I first met him, he messaged me, insisted on coming down to East London, took me for a coffee. We had a chit chat, and then I bumped into him in the city randomly one night. We started chit chatting. He's a good brother. So look, the reach here, what we do, like I said, we do not value fully what we do. We underrate what we do truly. It's only when we're not here I get people asking what's happening. I was waiting for answers, this, that. So we keep doing what we do, guys. And just to clarify, look, things are going to get hectic over the next few months. The channel is going through a little growth period. I myself am going through some growth. I think Mr. Ryan's going through some growth of his own. We're all growing in some way or other. And I like to think the community is growing with us, because like I said, 64 live streams, and this is not including all the shorts that I put out and all the positivity, all the mindset stuff, and this doesn't include all the other previous podcasts and videos and the stuff I was doing on the road with the orange suit. This does not include Mr. Ryan's, 10 shorts a day across all platforms. Now, he's attending many podcasts. I'm pushing myself as well to go on to more podcasts to talk about this more. And along with that, Family Court Mastery and my coaching programs, like I said, will eventually come out as well, which will be running under Family Court Mastery. We'll be adding more programs to it, more modules, and it's just going to grow to help people with the mindset and elevate and move forward after they get through the system ultimately. Because look, guys, if you're not growing, you're dying. You need to be growing every day as parents, as fathers, as people who have gone through a journey of a lot of pain, turmoil, and trauma. If you do not grow from this, then you have learned no lessons ultimately. So there's going to be a lot going on, guys, going forward. Yes, Mr. Ryan, well, we've got a bit of time. Shall we cover any specific? I wanted to talk about a couple of little things and subjects, but it's just slipped my mind. But as we got a bit of time, is there anything that we can cover or any information we can put out there or just discuss while we have a moment? There's a couple of things I want to discuss.
We can. But very briefly, just touch again on obviously the pre-record tomorrow. We're talking about the domestic abuse protection orders. I'm not going to say any more than that. Listen to the pre-record, and you'll find out about them. But it's a new instrument that's available across the court system that is currently being piloted. It's going to become very normal in about 18 months to 2 years' time. It's going to impact on all of us who are engaged with the family court, be they professionals or be they parties. Watch and learn in order to be ahead of the game in terms of that particular instrument. So that's the pre-record that you can listen to. And obviously, if you're watching this after the whatever it is today, the 27th of September 2025, then go back and find the pre-record and enjoy it. Yes. So what else is happening at the moment that we need to be aware of? I think the big issue at the moment in family court, and it's something I harp on about time and time again, is the time delays and also how do I phrase this so I don't insult anybody? The gross incompetence, let's use that phrase, that's occurring in family court. I had a bizarre situation this week, and I will share this because it's just odd. A new client starts family proceedings, gets his letter from CAFCAS to say, we're going to do your safeguarding interview, which is the first stage in the child matter. And they give him a date for doing it, which is Monday just gone, 22nd, was that? Monday, the 22nd of September at 2:00. We're going to ring you and we're going to do this 20-minute, half an hour safeguarding chit chat. And then we're going to produce our letter, which we're going to hand to court, so the court has it available when you do your first hearing. So he gets that letter 2 weeks ago. The day after he got that letter, he got the court order from court to tell him when the first hearing was taking place. And the first hearing was taking place at 10:00 in the morning on the 22nd of September. So 4 hours before his scheduled CAFCAS interview, in order to inform the court about his FEDRA, he's having his hearing. So there's a bit of a foul up. Then, just to make matters even better, this gets better. Then, on the Friday before, so Friday the 19th of September, he gets an email that says, your hearing's now cancelled. We'll give you a new date when it's available. So he's going, okay, that's fine. I'll just go with the CAFCAS interview and get that out of the way because that's the right order, etc. Then it gets even better. On the Monday morning at 9:00, he gets on the email the CAFCAS safeguarding letter with a note in it that says, I haven't had opportunity to speak to the father because he didn't make himself available.
Really?
So, well, hang on a minute, that's not true. so then it gets worse. At 10:00, he gets a phone call, bearing in mind that he's my client. If when he goes to court, I go to court. That's how it works. At 10:00, he gets a phone call from the court that says, where are you? He said, I'm at work. Why? Where are you? And they said, well, your hearing started at 10:00. He said, I got an email on Friday from you saying it's been cancelled. And the guy on the end of the phone said, no, you didn't. And he said, well, yes, I did. I can send it to you. So he then forwards the email that he got on the Friday to the court to say, here's the email that I got from one of your colleagues saying that this matter's been cancelled. To which the guy on the end of the phone said, oh, So in the space of 2 days, Kafkas booked, Kafkas cancelled. Kafkas reported because they said that he wasn't available. The hearing was on, the hearing was off. The hearing was then back on again, and then he was chastised for the fact he didn't turn up. And so I put a letter of complaint into the court on Monday afternoon and copied in Kafkas saying, what a farce. What a complete shit show. And then I got a letter back, an email back the following morning from the court telling me that they were extremely upset about the fact that I'd complained.
This, you know what? I swear to God, this sounds like East London Court to me. Bloody hell.
Well, it wasn't East London, actually. I don't often jump to the defence of East London, but it was not East London on this occasion. In fact, it was a court in the north, and the courts in the north usually are pretty good. Yeah,
listen, this is bad. I was speaking to Barbara last night, actually, and it's actually this question for you. I said I'll ask. I hope if he's watching, he can answer this question. So he's put his PSO in into the East London court, right?
Okay.
There's no real allegations of abuse or anything like that currently. No legal aid, nothing like that. It's just says he's lost contact for a couple of months with a child.
Okay.
So he's already submitted the PSO 3 weeks ago into East London Court, had no response. Surprise, surprise. He's saying he's waiting for his MIAM to sort of be completed, but ultimately I can't see this going anywhere. So I've said, obviously, that we're going to take him on as he's someone that is related to family of mine now. So we have to represent him. Yeah. When I say we, you're going to be doing the work.
Obviously,
so
I knew we was, yeah.
The royal we will be taking him on. But the question is this.
It's me.
Yes.
Yes. It's me.
So we will be taking him on. Now the question is this. Hold on, I've got a call coming in. Just decline that. Question is, so he's put the PSO in, he's had nothing. Can he still well, I presume we can, from what I understand. Can we whack in the C100 in now, assisted by a C1A or a statement or something, to get his contact moving? And if mother is not in the East London vicinity, can we get it moved to the relevant jurisdiction? Because she's technically not living there.
Yes, we can. Simple as that.
All right, cool. I'll send him your details and we'll start getting this arranged later.
Yeah, we can sort that out. That's not a problem. That's not a problem.
Yes, so okay, that's that. All right, we got a question. We've got a couple of comments.
Yeah, deal with these and we'll wrap it up and you can go and get on with whatever you're doing.
Right, Coda Hopper. Appreciate what you're both doing. There's nowhere else to get this insight into the system. That is very correct. I've had a lot of people say this. There is no other channel. There is nothing out there on the internet across the board that provides this raw, real, direct information, giving you all the aspects and nuances of the family court system and the system in general. So yes, Bo, appreciate you, brother. Keep showing up. We're here every Sunday at 8:30. Miss Noel, I do have a legal aid solicitor. I don't think my ex has read my statement because it was sent by email. He's used to getting served by a process server.
Right.
He's used to getting served by a process server. Right,
yeah.
Yes.
All right. So there's a tiny possibility that he hasn't had it yet. It doesn't matter. The issue is still with him. He should be chasing the court to say, I need to see this document because I want to respond to it. If he doesn't do, that's his loss, and that's a mistake in terms of how he's managing this case.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, look, Miss Noel, I don't know your situation. I don't know if you've got children. I don't know if you're applying for custody or access, what the ins and outs are. But perhaps you guys should consider mediation. Court is not necessarily the best place. It's not the best way. Obviously, I don't know your situation, so I'm not going to make any assumptions. But if there's no real danger as such, there's no real, I don't want to insinuate anything, but I would say there's a possibility of mediation. And if he's a guy that's not even used to email, I mean, I don't know what his chances are. If he's not even dealing with email, he's a bit out the arc, still dealing with letters and whatnot. He's going to struggle, like straight up. He's going to struggle. He doesn't really, and if you've got a legal aid solicitor, he doesn't really stand a chance, to be fair. So I would say if you can mediate, if you can get past this and co-parent, forsake your children. If it's possible, I'm just saying, have a think about that. And also keep us posted on your situation. We're here every Sunday, 8:30. Please tune in and keep us posted on your situation. Right, Mr. M, this is a new letter that I'm not used to seeing. So if you're watching, please like, subscribe, follow, and share. We're here every Sunday, normally at 8:30. We're only here today because we can't make tomorrow, but we will be dropping a video tomorrow night. Tune into that and watch that. Very interesting. It's about protection orders. How can it be scrapped? CMS, how can it be scrapped? That's a very good question. That's a very good question. We don't have a plan yet on that. We've not got that far ahead. We're not that powerful yet.
No, it can be scrapped very easily. CMS can be scrapped very easily. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a one-line response. How does CMS get scrapped? People stop splitting up.
Yeah, people stop splitting up. Or if you want it to be scrapped, technically, if you earn less than £36 a week, you don't pay anything. Or you pay £7 a week or whatever it is, or £1 a day. So if you ain't working, you're not in the matrix as such, you're not in the PAYE system, you're not in the matrix, ultimately, you don't pay. So you got to, my words are, you got to think outside the box. You cannot, when you enter the system, remember this. I think what people forget is when they enter the system, you are no longer a civilian. You do not live as a civilian. You are now, your mindset has to change. You can't operate as a civilian. You have to think outside the box. You have to think outside the system. That's my advice to you right now. Well, I'm going to bring the next comment up, but I'm not going to leave the
bring it up. I mean, CMS is not going to be scrapped, but take heart in knowing that, and this is not widely known. There's an inquiry about to be launched into CMS by one of the government departments because they recognise that CMS are awful. So there's an inquiry launching very shortly into looking at how they are run and whether they should be run any differently from the way they currently are. Because at the moment, I think they're run by a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old with crayons.
It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. Right. Let me bring the next comment up. I'm not going to leave it up too long. Right. I'm going to bring the next comment up. I'm going to advise the person that obviously your name shows up. So what I'm going to say to you is when you come on, if you don't want your name knowing and you've got a case in court, ideally put some different, put initials or whatever, or Boulder Hopper, for example. Make something up, yeah? Make a little nickname up. That's the code word now. When you come on here, make up a nickname, yeah? Right. This comment states, I appreciate it, Farouk and Mr. Ryan, for taking on my case. You are welcome. That's what we do. That's why we're here. I was just about to write a comment, but you beat me to it. No, listen, you're on board. I gave you my word. You're on. I know you, your family now. We got you. Don't worry. Mr. Ryan has confirmed here, live on air, live on stream. We got you. You're right here. You can sit right here. We got you.
You're on the bench with us. Join us on the bench.
Right, guys. This is episode 64 on Disqualified Dads live stream family court Q&A featuring that family law guy, Mr. Ryan himself. Join us every Sunday at 6:30. We're going to wrap it up for tonight. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, and share. Any final comments, Mr. Ryan?
It's been Saturday night, folks, and thank you for joining us. I appreciate that, most of you will probably be doing something, different on a Saturday night. I don't know what people do. Apparently people watch Strictly Come Dancing on a Saturday night. That's what people should be doing. So thank you for joining us. We appreciate your custom, and we appreciate your commitment to us and our commitment to you. If you're in court this week, trust it goes well. Stay calm, stay focused, stay respectful, and the court will do the same for you.
Absolutely. Eyes on the prize. And a quick shout out before we go to Claire behind the scenes. She does a lot of work. Enjoy Strictly Come Dancing. Right, guys, we shall see you on the next one.